Going? All right, the recording's going. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Virtual Presentation Mastery. We're going to start. I'm going to share my screen right now. We are going to go right to the PowerPoint, and we are going to begin. All right. All right, so again, welcome to Virtual Presentation Mastery, Part 1 of Part 2. Now, most of you know me, some of you don't know me. I'm just going to do this really quick because I want to spend the time on the training. And that is, I came out of corporate America. This is where I was, downtown LA. And I came out of corporate America where I've learned most of in the beginning, what I know about public speaking. I was a systems consultant, and I learned very quickly when I stepped on stage without training that I failed miserably, and it took someone actually in my audience telling me that I said okay after every sentence. So since that time, I decided that I was going to master public speaking, not only learn it, but actually master it. So I set out on a journey to do just that. I was in corporate America for 23 years, and when I reached the top that I could go in the CPA firm that I was in without being a CPA myself, because I was a systems consultant, I decided it was time to make a change, to do something else. But I didn't know what that change was because my degree was in information systems and my career was information systems. So I did what any smart girl would do. I prayed about it. And it wasn't long before God gave me the answer. He said public speaking. He said, Arvee, teach others what I've taught you. And I knew exactly what he meant. So that set me out to a career of being a public speaking trainer and coach. And that was 16 years ago that I left corporate America. And so since that time, I've given 3,500 speeches all over the world. I've trained over 5,000 business owners, individuals, even priests and bishops and brigadier generals, you name it. And I've hosted over 700 live events. And I've had 30 years of speaking experience and 16 years of it teaching others how to speak. And I don't say that to impress you or brag or any of that, just to let you know that it's not my first rodeo, that I've been in this business for a long time, that I don't do anything else. This is all I do. I'm either speaking myself or I'm teaching somebody to speak. I don't have any other side businesses or even side interests. So I'm in it 100%. All right, so here's just some of the fun people that not all of them, but some of the fun people that I've been able to share the stage with, which is a lot of fun. Of course, you recognize Mark Victor Hansen, Sharon Lectern. I just shared the stage with her back in January, I believe it was, January. And, just some other people that you might recognize, and it's just been just a blessing to do that. So I learned that the better I got speaking, the better my clients got, the better my coaching programs got, the better my live events got, my speaker training events, masterminds, virtual events, which we're going to be talking about for the next 2 days. And just the better opportunities came my way. And of course, the bigger stages and of course, more income. So it's all about, whether you're speaking right now, it's all about continuing to learn how to speak better and now to adapt into the virtual world. So just a little bit about my family. This is my husband and I and our 2 children, our 2 dogs. I hope you're dog lovers because I am. This is Zeus. He's got Zeus, and this is Zoe. And we got them when they were little puppies. They were just 7 weeks old. And now they're 7 years old. And this is Zoe, and she took over our couch. Zeus took over our bed, and now, since this whole pandemic, Zeus has developed a little bit of a drinking problem. But we'll send him to doggy care if it gets too bad. All right, so that's just enough and a little bit about me. All right, so what are my outcomes for the next 2 days? To just share with you some powerful, actionable information that you can use immediately, because I know most of you are probably doing meetings online, virtual meetings or virtual events already. So I want to just help you to do them the best you can and look the best you can and be the best you can. And of course, turn it into profits. All right, and I want to motivate you to kind of speak out of the box a little bit, think differently about this kind of square box environment and really not, sink down to it, but rise above it and just, rise above all of the people that are speaking in this arena and be better than all of them, or the best you can be anyway. And then I want to invite you to learn more about the different modalities of virtual speaking and virtual events. All right, so first, let's get right into it. Now, there's powerful ways that you can speak virtually. These are not all of them. Some of them you're using. Some of them you might go, I haven't thought of that. So this is just to be thought-provoking. I'm not going to get in real detail in this particular webinar, but I'll show you where I am going to get in more detail. All right, so webinars like this, webinars, and there's a lot of different platforms you can use. Do your research, find a platform that works for you. Live stream, there's a lot of different live streams. There's Facebook, there's YouTube, there's LinkedIn. You do have to apply if you're going to do LinkedIn. You won't see it automatically. Twitter you have to do on your phone. You can't do it on your computer. So they're all a little bit different. And of course, there's still Google Hangouts available. There's lots and lots of different ways that you can live stream with people. And of course, YouTube, just creating a video and putting it up on YouTube is another way to just get your message. If you don't want to do the lives, but you'd rather do more of a rehearsed and structured type of speech and not have it be organic, then YouTube is probably the better platform. And of course, Zoom meetings. This isn't a Zoom meeting. This is a Zoom webinar. But as you see on the screen, this is a Zoom meeting. Of course, Zoom has exploded. Everybody's gone virtual. I have a networking meeting and it's called Christian Business Partners, and we've gone virtual, as you can see. But I went to one the other day that's in San Diego. Normally, I didn't go to San Diego, but normally I drive 3 hours there, 3 hours back, and spend 2 or 3 hours there. It's a whole day event. And they did it online. And usually they have 60 people, maybe 80, and it's a women's group. They had 103 people. Sharon Lecter was speaking, and Maury Smith was speaking, and it was just fantastic just to see the potential of taking your meetings virtually. And then, of course, online networking like this, where you can actually set up your meetings to do some networking. There's a thing on Zoom called breakout sessions where you can dive deep and do mini masterminds and mini meetings, and it's really, really hot. And then, of course, masterminds. I've been using Zoom to do my masterminds for probably since it started. I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, whenever Zoom started. I started Zoom. I was introduced to Zoom, believe it or not, as a speaker for a big conference that they didn't want to do live. It was actually a technology type of conference. And since my background was in technology, I was asked to speak. And it was the first time I was introduced to Zoom. And of course, I've been on it ever since. And then interviews are really hot, where 2 or more people do an interview. Podcasts, that's another way to get your message out there virtually. And you don't have to use any of the video technology if you don't want to be seen, but want to be heard. So this is all about me encouraging you to get your message out to the world. Don't let what's happening to us, say, okay, I can't go out on stage. I can't go in crowds. My career is stop. No, you can go out virtually. And these are just some of the ways that you can do it. And of course, virtual seminars. Now, I just did my one day. My one day I do once a year now. It's called Speak Up, Get Clients. Many of you were there. Many of you were there on that. And I didn't want to cancel. It was April 8th. So, and it was a paid event. People had already paid for it. I had, I don't know, I probably 72 or 75 people already sign up and pay for it. And so I didn't want to leave them, high and dry. They really wanted the information. So I turned it into a virtual event. And out of the 72, 58 people came, and they stayed the entire day. And of course, I made, an offer and made sales, and it worked great. And the people had a great time. And several of you here commented to me later that I engaged you and kept you excited. So I'm going to show you how to do that tomorrow. All right, so virtual seminars. Now, why is all this important? powerful ways to share your message. If you know me at all, you know that my mantra is that you have a message to share that only you can share to people that can only hear it from you. That's right. And that message will save someone's life, save someone's business, or save someone's soul. That's why it's so important for you to get it out there and not to stop. Do not let the enemy silence you during this time. No, 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 no. I am here to share with you, to be your encouragement and be your light, that you can go out there and share your message. And this is only a few of the ways that you can do it. Be creative, but get it out there. And of course, online programs. Maybe some of you've already got an online program that maybe you need to update, brush off, and then sell that. An online program typically is one you've recorded at one time that you don't have to be actually present. But I recommend for you to be present with people right now because they need it. They need to hear from you immediately, directly, a direct connection. But that's another option. All right, so how to be that powerful speaker and speak virtually. Now, some of you that are here with me are on my PowerPoint. I could have put a lot of you on there, but there's Sandy Olson and, of course, Connie Johnson and some other folks. And Linda Kane was with me when this was taken. Remember, Linda, this is your one of your gals. So, again, I would have put a lot more on there if I had room. So let's talk about, now we know why we need to speak virtually. We know that there are lots of places that we can speak virtually, but let's talk about how we can do it and how we can be more powerful, because we need to be more powerful than we are in live. We need to be more powerful in this kind of arena than when we're live. Why? Because all we have is from here to here. So we have to be enthusiastic. And most of the time you're going to be stuck sitting down. Some of you may have computers that rise up, but for the most part we don't. But I'm going to give you some tips on where you're positioning, your lighting and all that so you can look your best. So let's get started on that. Number one, and this is a big mistake that I see people that they don't make when they're doing virtual. When you do virtual, the very first thing you want to do is provide the host with a proper speaker introduction. Yes, a proper speaker introduction. Now, I teach people formula. Again, if you've worked with me, you know I'm all about systems and formulas and blueprints. I came out of the systems world. So when I came into this world, I learned that there were no systems for speaking. The only one that I could find was create a beginning and middle and end, which nobody told you what to put in it. So I started 16 years ago creating speaker systems, introduction systems, one-sheet systems, elevator speech systems, coaching, you name it. I've got systems for all of it. Why? Because it makes it easier for you to learn. It takes the guesswork out of what to say when, and it's just been, fantastic, everybody just gets fantastic results. I was going to say, I was thinking, what Michael Gerber said, and I couldn't exactly remember his quote, but, he believes in systems and systems. Oh, yes, systems turn ordinary people into extraordinary people. So there you have it. All right, so create a speaker introduction. What I see happening in these virtual worlds is that the speakers, whether it's an interview or you've got tons of people plastered on the screen, is the speaker will get lost in all of those people. And that the host oftentimes say, and with us today is so-and-so. No, no, no. You want to provide a proper introduction. And that doesn't mean a bio. A bio, ladies and gentlemen, is not the same thing as a speaker introduction. A bio is usually longer. It's just written differently, where a speaker introduction is shorter, it's brief, and it allows you to share who you are through your own professional story. So if it's too long, people are going to get bored. And if it's too long, a lot of speakers will come out and go, oh, well, that was a great introduction. I'm glad I wrote it. It's like, no, that is not the best way to start. So get a speaker introduction. Make sure that your host has read it at least once or twice. Have a mini meeting with them before the meeting. Make sure that they've read it. Make sure they can get a hold of it. Make sure they printed it, for heaven's sakes, so they're not fumbling and mumbling. Everything right before you step on that stage counts. Everything. So set yourself up for speaking success. Next, step on stage at the right time. It is so important for you to step on stage at the right time. So what does that mean? You're saying, well, how can I do that when I'm in a Zoom meeting? Well, let me share with you how you can do that. A couple of ways that you can do that. Number one, you step on after your introduction. Now, this is $1 million idea that I'm telling you right now. Now, if you've gone to my $1 million Speaker Summit, you know what to say when you get a $1 million idea. So in the chat box, go ahead and say millions, millions, and I'm going to open up my chat box here so I can see the millions coming in. All right, hold on just a second. All right, I'm going to move this over here so I can see your chats. All right, so go ahead, go ahead and write millions. Millions, thank you. Awesome. All right, good, here we go. I'm going to put that over there. All right, I might have to have a little bit of help from my friend. Excellent, millions, millions, trillions. All right, great, millions with money, millions. Thank you. And Deidre Miller's here. Hi, Deidre. Yvonne White. Chuck Rivers. Hi, Chuck. I haven't seen you for a long time. Welcome. Welcome. All right, great. Millions. And Sally Burrows. How are you? It's been a long time I've seen you, honey. Good to see you here. All right, so step on stage after that introduction. So how do you do that if everybody's faces? A couple of ways. Ask your meeting host to put you in the waiting room. Now, sometimes they like to do that, sometimes they don't like to do that. But they can have all their guests come on and then turn on a little button that puts you just in the waiting room and you come later, or they can put everybody in the waiting room. But that's one option. Sometimes people don't want to do that. It's a little cumbersome. So here's what I say. Turn your video off. Just don't let them see you. Now, sure, you might have a picture or just your name, but it's better than everybody seeing you, especially on an interview. Maybe if you have 100 people, it's different. But if you're on an interview and it's just you and that person and they're introducing you and you're going, it's kind of like spoiling the surprise. So don't spoil the surprise. Just turn your video off until you're introduced and then wah, you're live. So again, don't spoil the surprise for everybody. All right, and if you have any questions, go ahead in the question box. I'm gonna just look if somebody has a question. Yes, am I the meeting host? Yes, I am. All right, and okay, perfect. Yes, so I would be the meeting host. Very good question. So if you're hosting the meeting, you're the meeting host. If you're a guest, it's not your meeting, then you're the guest. You might be a guest attendee or a guest participant or a guest speaker. So very good question. Thank you for that. All right, next. Number 3, dress the part of a professional speaker. Just because we're on the virtual stage doesn't mean you need to cut corners or that you should cut corners. If you see me, I'm in my branding colors, I have a dress on, I show up just like I would in a live speaking engagement, sparkly shoes and all. Now, why? You might be thinking, well, nobody can see me. Well, it's for you. It's so that you will be confident, look confident, and then show, your confident speech. You see, when we dress casual, aren't you a little more loose and a little more casual than perhaps you would be if you dressed the part? I know I am. So if I'm in my gym clothes and my tennis shoes, I just feel differently. And I don't feel like I'm speech ready. I feel like I'm ready to take a run, but I'm not speech ready. So make sure that you look the part of a professional speaker. Now, it doesn't mean you have to wear a suit if you don't wear a suit, but it means maybe you wear that nice shirt instead of that t-shirt, right? I want you to be authentic. Don't get me wrong. Always, always, always be authentic, but be respectful to your audience and dress like a professional, dress like someone that they want to hire. Right? That's key. Dress like someone that they will want to hire, like someone that looks successful. Number 4, really important, display a successful environment. A successful, typically messy, like we see over here, may or may not ring success. It may not be the image that you want. It might be an image to some people of a hoarder or someone disorganized. And if you're disorganized with your stuff, how are you going to be organized with their stuff? With their coaching, with their personalities, with their paperwork, their forms, their homework, whatever it is that they might be doing. So very, very important for you to set that good impression. Now, if your front of your desk is messy, who cares, right? It's just like if you want to dress as a professional speaker from only the waist up, okay. Just don't stand up if you're going to do that. But it's better, again, I find it's better for your presentation if everything's neat, if you feel neat, if you feel organized, and you feel like you've got it together, that like you're all put together, like my friend Connie says, then I believe that you will perform better, because that's exactly what you would do on stage. You wouldn't have a messy stage with a bunch of McDonald's cartons and papers and stuff like that. You would have an organized stage, and you would step up on that stage, and it would be an extension of you. So do that, whether you're the guest speaker or the host. Make sure that you do that. Now, there are virtual stages out there. You can set, I can't show you now because I'm in the web version, but in the meeting version, you can set a virtual stage behind you. But I don't necessarily recommend that, because if you move in certain ways, your hand will disappear and it looks really weird unless you have a green screen and want to go through all that trouble, then that's different. I find that the depth, like this is my office, that the depth is always better if it's a real time. So, but that's up to you. That's entirely up to you. But again, think of where you are. I've seen a lot of meetings. People come to meetings and they're in their bathroom. They have the shower curtain behind them. We know that. Or they've tried to put up a blanket. We know it's a blanket. You can't fool anybody. So if you don't have an environment that looks nice, then get a green screen and then shop for pictures that really, you know, say what it is you do, or put up your logo or something like that. But don't compromise and talk to anybody in a shower or bathroom, or even your kitchen isn't always as professional as a professional office could be. So if you don't have something like that, create something for yourself by using a green screen. But it's that important, especially when you're the host or when you're speaking. It's all about your reputation. All right, number 5, and this is really important. Number 5, use PowerPoint pictures and videos. Now, again, a lot of my students are on here. Now, to my students, I'm going to ask you a question, and that is this. Do I recommend, in a typical signature talk of 30 minutes or less, do I recommend any of these? Pictures, PowerPoint, or anything. Do I recommend that? Go ahead and put that in the chat box, and let me go to my chat. Do I recommend that? No, yikes. No, right. No. Hi, Virginia, glad you made it. Good, no, you're right. Carol's here. Carol's in my mastermind right now. Right, she knows, no. Jackie, never. That's right, never. Why? Because 30 minutes isn't long enough for you to build rapport with your audience and get them to love you. The longer you are with your audience, the more they're going to love you, the more they love you, the more they're going to buy from you. You better write that down, because that is profound and it is the truth. Now, when you're in a live event and you have a PowerPoint and you go like this, that's a disconnect. Whoop, that's a disconnect every single time. So that's why I do not recommend any PowerPoint. I don't care what your topic is. You are the presentation, and you need to be before your audience and do nothing but give them great information. Of course, without using notes. You know your stuff. You're the expert. Now you're sharing your message. We want to do the same thing virtually. However, virtually is a different animal. And people need something to look at. And they're not going to just look at your little face because it's too little, or they're not going to look at all the people because all the people are a distraction because they're all moving around, and we've all been to Zoom meetings like that. So to help with the lack of that distraction, use the PowerPoint, video, and pictures. Now remember I told you I was at that event that had 103 people. Now, one speaker, Maury Smith, used PowerPoint, and it was far more interesting and engaging, where Sharon Lecter just talked, and she was lost. She was a little, square amongst 103 squares, right? You get about 50 on a screen. So what happens? Everybody's moving, we are distracted. So if you don't have a PowerPoint, then you need to encourage, here's a way around it. Then you can encourage the host to encourage all the participants, but it takes them all, to put their screen in what's called speaker view. When it's in speaker view, the speaker will be huge, and all the other people will just be lined up at the top. Is this good stuff? If that's worth millions, put millions in the chat box, or put good stuff. All right, how cool is that? Say that's cool. Excellent. So people don't do that. I don't see that very often. So if you're going to be the speaker and you don't have a PowerPoint, I just want to be clear, ask the host to ask everyone to click in the upper right-hand corner. It's going to say gallery view because you're in gallery view normally, but you want to, it'll say speaker view. You'll think you're in speaker view, but you're not. It means to click on it to get into speaker view. And that person that is speaking will be bigger than life. They will dominate the screen, and you won't see but a little strip of other people in the video. That's how you can stand out of the crowd, of all that sea of people that are in your meeting or in your event. All right, so let me demonstrate. This is a little video. All right, I wanted to add some extra teaching here, but you can put any video that you want. And here's the thing, when I do my live events, I do video, but when my 3-day, because I will have a videographer team there that if anything goes wrong, they can fix it. But if I do my 1 day, I typically don't hire a team of people. And so if I do a video and it doesn't work, then I've got egg on my face, right? I'm looking like a dweeb, and I don't want to do that. But so I'd never recommend it if you're doing a half-a-day event or a 1-day event. Just stay away from video if at all possible. Maybe, yes, do a PowerPoint because it's a longer training than 30 minutes. But just stay away from anything that could go wrong. But guess what? In here, you can add it. So now I'm going crazy adding videos to all of my webinars. So here's just a little extra bonus teaching for you. Again, we don't write out our speech word for word. Can you all hear it? Why? Whoa, sorry. Okay, can you all hear it? Just write in the chat box if you can hear it. Again, we don't write out our speech word. Got to put it up. Okay. All right, see, here's the thing. This is why I don't do video. Okay, there we go. We got it full speed ahead. Why? All right, can you hear it? Just write in the chat box, let me know. You will read it. You will try. Okay, I'm getting chats, but you know what? I can't do the chat and have it play, so we're gonna have to do that after. So that's a lesson. If you have a video playing, you can't do the chat. No, doesn't work because you will become a prisoner of your own words. A prisoner. You don't want to be a prisoner to anything. You want freedom. Freedom to be up here and speak. The best way you can have freedom is to outline it and then talk it and practice it out loud and work it like this. Be no distraction. Be thinking of it. Be deep in it. Hear yourself. Take notes if you need to on, ooh, that was a good story. I want to make sure that I add that. But be free to create it. And again, with the system, you have that kind of freedom, because that's your framework. You need a framework, otherwise you're going to be all over the place winging it. And winging it, which most untrained speakers, trained speakers do, means wing it results. Meaning you can't count on the result. You can't count on you're going to get those 5 leads. You're not going to be able to count whether or not people are going to talk to you or you're going to sell or any of that. Can't count on it. When you use a deliberate system, a proven system, you can count on it. Not only count on it, but you can calculate it. All right. Now let me go to the chat because here's something I just learned. When I clicked on the chat, it stopped the video. So you have to be careful of that. The other thing I've learned too by doing video, most of the time I do recommend to have some sort of a nice microphone. But if you have a microphone plugged into your USB port, your audience will not hear the video. So those are just kind of some tricks. Again, that I've learned from using this particular platform. All right, so now, okay, let me look at some of the chats. Okay, the sound was a little muted. All right, so here's the thing. Earlier today, I was on a webinar, and it was so loud that I turned my computer down, and I did not turn the sound up. So again, if you're going to do video, you need to make sure your computer sound is on. And when you have a PowerPoint up, you don't have access to your desktop to turn the sound higher. So you have to make sure all of that is ready to go. All right, so thank you for that. So again, a little bit about video. Okay, you're not able to hear. All right, again, it was my fault in the volume. But that is a lesson now I learned, and now I taught it to you. Boom. All right, so that's why I don't do video. All right, so number 6. No, video is a lot of fun. That's the first time it really hasn't worked as well as it has in the past, and just because I had turned my own computer down earlier this morning. All right, so number 6, create proper lighting. Create proper lighting. This is so important. You're the speaker. You need to look good. Now, there's a hidden feature in Zoom that can kind of soften your features up, but it really comes down to lighting. So you don't want any lighting like this right next to you, or front lighting, or back light. I mean, you want front lighting, sorry. You don't want side lighting, you don't want back lighting, because of course you will disappear and you will be full of, shadows, and you'll be just dark. So the best lighting to have is natural lighting. I have natural lighting coming in from this door. I have natural lighting coming in here. If you don't have any natural lighting, that's okay. You can use professional lighting as long as you put it in front of you. Now, if you have to move your desk back a little bit or something, figure it out. But if you don't have that natural lighting windows, put something in front of you that's showing on your face so your shadows won't show. You have to look crisp and happy and alive to keep people's attention. So do whatever you need to do. There, you can go on Amazon and find a ton of different lighting that you can use. Even, the lights on your phone if you're using your phone. So just think about proper lighting. Some people don't, and I've seen Zoom meetings where they come as a business owner to a networking meeting and you can't even see them. If people can't see you and can't connect with you, then they're not going to buy from you or get to, unless they already know you. New people probably won't even, give you a chance. So be careful with that. All right, next, use a proper professional microphone when you're speaking. Here's the one that I use. I also have a big boy when I do my podcast. I'm not using one today because of the video. You can't plug something in like this. You can if you're using a soundboard and a real professional one. Like I have a big boy over here that I use, but this I just use for my meetings and my Facebook Lives. But if you're using video, you won't be able to use that. So just make sure that you have great sound. In Zoom, there's some sound features in the back that you can use that can make you look better during the setup. All right, number 8, eliminate noisy distractions. Of course, I put my dogs in their kennel this morning to avoid any of the noisy distractions, but I've seen where kids have come into the room, where they're playing. Now that the kids are home from school, cell phones go off, landlines go off. You want to do everything you can to be your best and look your best. And the best way to do that is to minimize or eliminate any distractions that's going to pull you away. If you know the gardener's coming on Friday and your dogs are going to go crazy, then put your dogs away, shut the door, or tell your gardener not to come that day, or don't schedule your trainings or webinars on that particular day. Pay attention. Everything counts. Remember, in this environment, we are under a magnifying glass. Everything's magnified. You can probably see the dust on top of my shelf. It's so magnified. So everything is huge. Now you're not going to be perfect. None of us are perfect, right? Nobody's perfect. Jesus is perfect, and that's it. So I've already made mess ups already. All I'm saying is do the best you can. Be aware of a lot of these common sense. You'd think common sense, but I know you've probably been on meetings like I have, and it's like, whoa, really? So let's look at a few of them here, right? Okay, so I'll just tell you what a few of them that I've seen, of course, and that is people typing, people chewing gum, people going and talking to somebody, somebody walking behind them. They've been in an environment where their husband or their wife walks behind them. And again, if you're just visiting and in a meeting, no big deal. But if you're the speaker, it is a big deal. Every single thing counts. So just set yourself up for the best success possible. All right, next one. 9, stage yourself properly. Stage yourself properly. Now, what do I mean by that? It means put yourself in the center of the stage, just like you would be if you were speaking. Don't be off over here. Don't be off over here. Don't be looking around. Set yourself up. Lean in. How many of you, and I've seen participants do this, maybe not speakers, but they're laid back on their couch, like, they're watching TV. If you're the speaker, you don't want to do that. You want to lean in. You want to be close, not too close, all right? If you're over 50 like me, you might want to have a little more distance. Or again, turn on that hidden feature in Zoom about the soft lighting. But I've seen people that use their phone and they're like right up here. Not a good idea. Also, if you're using a laptop, and you're looking down, guess what? We don't want to see your double chin. It's better if you're looking up. If you don't have a monitor on your computer that you can do and you only have a laptop, put your laptop up on a box, right? Or file cabinet, whatever, so that it's more eye level. Believe me, you will look better, you'll feel better, and we will connect with you better, and you will look your best. So stage yourself properly as that speaker, center the stage, lean forward, look into the camera at all times, and connect and smile with your audience. Number 10, involve your audience when you're speaking. I've already started involving you. Today, I'm going to go to my chat, and I'm going to see some of the chats that are happening. All right, good. Let me share some of the chat. Oh, love the expressions on the dogs. Yes, if you know. All right, Diane's a dog lover too. All right, excellent. Good job. Good job. All right, maybe use a room with a door, maybe. Depends what it looks like. All right. I resemble the over 50 mark. All right, Ed. Well, Edward, you and I have known each other for very many years. So, all right. Excellent. And yes, some of you are mentioning some other things not to do as well. But involve your audience all that you can. It is very challenging. I can ask you to chat. I can ask you to say millions. And some of you won't. Just like in a real live audience, some people just aren't extroverts and they just rather sit and listen, and that is perfectly okay. But for the people that want to be part of your presentation, then you need to give them a way to be part of that. Now, when you have a Zoom meeting platform, then you can also have more activity, but there's more distractions. I find that the Zoom meeting, the meeting platform, works really well in meetings that are 25 and under. Once you start getting 50, because I'm on the board of SCORE in Orange County, and we, in our board meetings, we've got like over 50 people where you have to, you know, anyway, so many distractions, even if the chair uses PowerPoint. There's just too many people and they're doing too many things and it's too distracting. So I like for webinars, this webinar platform, because it's not as distracting because you're not seeing anybody doing anything but me, all right? Or you as the speaker. All right, so let's see, let me read some of these comments. All right. So basically the room is set up in your home, dedicated to online meetings if you can. Absolutely. If you can set up a little nook that you do your home meetings, your online meetings, your training, that will serve you. Some people, what they do is they put up signs, those seminar pop-up signs, and they will certainly work. Just be careful if they're too dark, then it could darken the room. It could shut off all the natural light. So do some experiments with it. You can, record a Zoom without even having a Zoom meeting. So again, back to the number of people. Now here, I have 81 people with me today. 81 people, and I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to be here and be in this mini-series with me. But I could not do, without distracting everyone, all of the videos of everybody. So it's better when you have that many people, it's best to put it in a webinar environment. It'll be less distractions for you and less distractions for your attendees. And then they can focus on the lesson and what you're trying to teach them. All right, sound good? All right, Tutu says it works for any number of people, used it for different size audiences. Yes, but what I'm sharing, very good. What I'm sharing is there's two types. One is Zoom meetings, other is webinars. GoToMeetings have the same thing. There's GoToWebinar, GoToMeeting. There are so many platforms. Zoom isn't the only one. Pick the platform that works for you, all right, and your budget. So how do we involve our audience? There's lots of ways to involve the audience. I've shared some of them with you in the chat box, but let's look at some of them. And I want to talk about some of these people here as well, because again, this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about they can be a distraction. Now this guy right here is camera ready, camera friendly. He is in a speaker position. Now his background with the lamps might not be the best. If it was me, I'd probably just move the lamps and make it more just a blank wall. Here I put up a virtual because this is the training. If you're going to do a virtual background, make sure you take your mirror off because it's backwards for me. That was one of my first meetings. But you can see that, and this gal, I love her to pieces, but we don't see her. So she's looking down into the camera a little bit. For speaking, she wouldn't be in the best position possible. So consider the best position that you can be in. And this is my husband. He's sitting there like he's in Hawaii. Again, not the best virtual background because it can be distracting. And of course, virtual backgrounds, you can even play with videos. You don't have sound on them, but you can play with videos. But I'm telling you that if you're the speaker, you don't really want anybody doing that, and you don't want to do it yourself. Too distracting. All right, so comment in the chat box, which is what we've done today. Use reactions. Now, how many of you, put in the chat box, how many of you know what a reaction is in a Zoom meeting? Do you know what a reaction is? All right. Excellent. Yes? Okay, good. Okay, good. Very good. All right. Most of you know what a reaction is. And a reaction is, you can see it right here. This is a reaction. This is a palm. It's actually clapping, people clapping, or you can do a thumbs up. Now, here's a hidden secret that people don't know. You can change the color. It automatically comes yellow, but they have variety of colors. So I changed mine to more the color of my skin and not yellow. You can change it to different shades that fit your skin. So in another class, I'll show you how to do that. Not here, but I just want you to know some of those hidden things you can use. Now, the reactions, of course, are not in meetings, in webinars like this. They are only in your meetings and only on Zoom. There's other things that GoToWebinar have. They have hand raises and things like that. Now, but I like in a Zoom meeting, I like to just, if you have a question, just, wave, because the host can see you, they can see the entire screen. That's why it's best if you're in a meeting to sit still, because when you're moving around, it distracts everybody. Everybody can see it. You are in a fishbowl. You are magnified 100%. So everything counts. I saw a guy the other day put eyedroppers in his eyes. It was gross. Don't do anything like that. No, no, don't smack your lips or put on lipstick or put on makeup. We can all see it. Even if you're on a phone and you can't see us, if you're on a phone and you're making noise, boom, you're magnified automatically. And even if you're on a phone, but we're all on a computer, we can see you. Just know that. Now, so people tell me, okay, well, I'll just put up my picture, or I'll just put up my name if I don't have a picture. I'm telling you, that's not a great way to connect. It's hard enough connecting with your audience if you can't see them. It's hard to be in a networking meeting, building relationships, if you're not present. Because it doesn't build the trust and rapport. It does the opposite. We're like thinking, well, what are you doing? What are you hiding? So be present. Get ready for that meeting like you're going to a seminar, like you're going to a networking meeting. Get up early. Take that shower. I know we're having some optional shower days, and I do too. This isn't one of them, but I oftentimes do too. When you know you're going to a meeting, especially if you're going to speak at a meeting, you want to bring your A game on 100%. All right, so raising hands physically is another way. Nonverbal icons. In Zoom, they have some icons that say yes, no, even one that says thumbs up, a coffee cup, a hand raise, a timer. They have all kinds of crazy little nonverbal icons that you can have fun with in a meeting. I wouldn't recommend it if you're speaking necessarily, because again, that could create distraction. Verbal involvement. If you're on a Zoom meeting, you can have people chime in. Breakout rooms. I don't know if you know about breakout rooms, but they are so hot. This is how I run my mastermind meetings. This is how I run my networking meetings when I want them to get into smaller groups of deep dive mastermind meetings. And Chuck is, I don't know, Chuck, if you're still in CBP, but I don't know if they're using it, but it's a great tool to deep dive and get to know people just like you would at a live event. So at a live event, I might say, okay, break up into groups of 2 or 3 and tell people what you do. Well, you can do that in the Zoom meetings, and it's really a lot of fun. And you can let Zoom create the breakout rooms, or you can actually put people in them yourself. Really great. And of course, quizzes is a great way to involve your audience. So I'm going to ask a quiz right now. So should you write out your speech? Is it true? Oh, well, now that's dumb. Is it true only, A, B, or C? True or false, or true only for online presentations? So who can tell me the answer to that? Let me get my chat back up here. Who can tell me the answer? A, B, or C? A, B, or C? All right, false, A, B. I'm getting all over the board. False, B, B. Don't read it, right? Okay, that went by so fast, I'm sorry I couldn't see it. B, 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 C, A, false. All right, I'm getting a lot of different variety of B, 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 B. Okay, only for prep, bullets only, true, but memorize it. B, okay, very good. Thank you all. False, Lorena says, absolutely. Absolutely. So the answer is B, false. Never. Because remember the mini lesson, and maybe you couldn't hear it, but never, because you will become a prisoner of your own words. And someone in the chat box said memorize it. Not necessarily. You want to memorize it, but it's not memorizing. It's you speaking it so much that you become the script. So let me tell you what I mean. You're driving in your car. You'll start singing to that song, do, whatever it is. And all of a sudden you know the words. Now, let me ask you this. When did you set a goal to memorize that song? You didn't. You just heard it so much. That's why I teach people to walk and talk. Don't take your speech and read it, read it, read it. Don't take it and while you're driving in your car, recite it or recite it in your head. I mean, you can do all those things if you want also. But what you have to do is take that speech and speak it out loud. Speaking is speaking out loud so your own ears can hear it. And when you become the script, it is such a beautiful thing because it will be so automatic and so natural. It's like if you feel like it's forced, if you feel like I got to memorize it and then you have deer in the headlights, that means you didn't rehearse enough. You have to rehearse any speech. Let's say a 30-minute speech. You want to rehearse. You want to rehearse 1 hour for every 2 minutes of speech. So write in the chat box, how long is that? 1 hour for every 2 minutes in a 30-minute presentation. Write it now. Absolutely, write it now. That's what will make you become the script. And the benefit of becoming the script is that you can be present. It's not being not present, it's that you can be so present that if you heard or felt or got an inkling that somebody needed to hear a particular story that you weren't planning on telling, you could tell that story and not miss a beat and come right back to where you ended up. It's the most beautiful thing. All right, so 15 hours. Yes, 15 hours. Everybody's saying practice, practice, practice. Yes, 60 hours. Well, the more you practice, Michael Alexander, the better you would become. So absolutely, you can never not practice enough. Most speakers don't practice enough. They practice 1 or 2 hours. Now, when you practice like that, not only do you become the script, but you become the most confident, powerful speaker that you could possibly become. And isn't that all what we all want to do? And even though we're doing our speeches in virtual world now, it's still just as critical to practice that often and that much. All right, so that's our lesson for today. This is a 2-day mini course, and so I will see you back tomorrow. So what is happening tomorrow? Tomorrow we're going to talk about Zoom etiquette and how to look your best and be your best, because not everybody is putting their best foot forward. We're going to talk about the power of live stream and how you can do that, and then mind-blowing secrets. We're going to do some more advanced secrets on virtual presenters. So we'll see you back tomorrow. We are right at the top of the hour. I have 6 minutes left. So if you have any questions or comments, put them in the chat box. I'm going to go to my Q&A right now and answer the questions in a Q&A. All right. Hey, Deborah, how are you? So what do you think about brick wall? I love brick wall backdrops. I think that they would look awesome. However, it's going to take people to the outside. So when you pick a backdrop, you want to make sure it's a backdrop that fits your speech, your training, and your audience. So it depends, if you're talking about inner city stuff, it might work well. If you're talking to women about, the power of women or leadership, it might not be the best choice. So consider what it is, your topic and who you're speaking to, always. All right, great. Another one. How do you get a split screen seeing you and the PowerPoint? Using Zoom, it's automatic, so you can see me and I shared my screen. So other places, I'm not sure. Other platforms, I don't know. You'd have to look into those. Okay, the practice formula. Okay, the practice formula is 1 hour for every 2 minutes of speech. So if you're going to speak for 30 minutes, then it's 15 hours of practice or rehearse. If you're going to speak for an hour, it's 30 hours. That's at a minimum. You can go more with that, but at a very minimum. That's what's going to make you great. That's what's going to turn a good speech into a great speech. It's what's going to turn, just something that's mediocre into something good. So always put in the time. All right. Can you use speaker and microphone? Well, I'm thinking if you're talking about I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but it's usually either or. So you're using your speakers from your camera or you're using a microphone. But again, remember if it's plugging into the USB, unless your computer is configured differently. That could be, I'm not a computer person. All I know that when I put this in and I do a video, you can't hear it. And I know when I play back my own videos, if this is in, if I'm even on YouTube and this is in my slot, I can't hear the video on YouTube. So again, you know, I'm not on the technical end of the computers, but maybe there's a way that, let me go back. Okay, maybe there's a way to do that. All right, any other questions in the Q&A? I'm in the Q&A right now. All right, I'm gonna go to the questions in the chat. All right, if your computer is to the side of you instead of in front, how does that work? Mine is to the side. Well, it depends where your camera is. All right, so I have another monitor to the side over here, but that's why when I first started, I switched my PowerPoint to be on this one because it automatically went on my other monitor. Because you want to be looking into wherever your camera is. The monitor could be over there, but it helps me to have the monitor the same place my PowerPoint is. If I had my PowerPoint over there, look at what it would look like, Kay. I would be going over here, and therefore I would not be connecting directly with you. So that's why you want to put your video monitor on, even if it's on a box and your computer is over there, but it's best to be where the same place where your PowerPoint is going to be and where the people are. All right, so good question. Yes, I can turn on speaker view now. If I stopped my share, I could turn, well, I can't turn it on now, I'm in webinar mode, but you can if you're in the meeting of Zoom. As a host speaker and microphone, okay, I'm not sure, Yvonne, sorry, what is that? Is there a recording? Yes, Tutu, there is a recording. I've recorded this. You will all get the recordings after I'm done tomorrow. All right, so that way I can just send them out all at once. I can send them both out at once. Okay, so does the host turn on the speaker view or can you do it? No, it's for each individual. When you're in a meeting, like the host can only share and encourage everybody to go into speaker mode. But when you're on Zoom as an individual, you've got full control of your view. So you can put some people in galley view or speaker view. So as far as I know, no, that's not controlled by the host. All right, there's some things that is controlled, like the host can say if participants can share their screen or not. They can turn that off and on. And some other things, but not particularly that feature. All right, oh, thank you. Thank you, Fran. All right, okay, all right, so, okay, anything else? All right, let me go up and see if I missed something. What does the screen look like for galley view and speaker view? All right, so if you're in a Zoom meeting, like we saw the meeting, let me just go back a couple of slides to that view. So let me go here. This is galley view, what we're looking at right here. This is what's called a galley view. But if we looked in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, over here, we would see it say speaker view. But doesn't mean it's in speaker view. It's in galley view, or gallery view, I should say. Not galley, but gallery view. So then you would have people click that. Then it would turn into speaker mode, and whoever is speaking, the person with the yellow around them, they would be huge, and everybody else would be small across the top. So that's how it would look. But the host must encourage everybody. The host could do it for themselves, right? But that doesn't mean it's the same view that everybody gets. All right, good questions. If you have to go, I'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise, if you want to stay a little longer, I'll be happy to answer some of your questions. All right. Okay, any more questions there? Let me double check. All right, let me scroll down. All right, good. That's my answer. Thank you. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, anything else in the chat box? Let me go to the chat view. Let me bring the chat view right on my screen now. Do you see all of us while you are presenting? If it's a Zoom meeting and not a Zoom webinar, the answer is yes. So even now, because it's a webinar, I can see all of you that are here. Nobody else can see you here unless you make a comment and make it say to everyone, all panelists and attendees. I typically keep that off only because I don't want everyone to be distracted, but you can control that yourself in the chat. But you can't see the number of people or who's here in a Zoom webinar. You can in a Zoom meeting. So you have to be careful if you want to give if it's a networking meeting, everybody knows everybody, then that's cool. But if you're doing a live event, a virtual event, you may not want everybody. I mean, maybe you only have 6 people there and you don't want everybody to see you only have 6 people. I mean, that kind of thing. So you would do a webinar. Now, like I said, I had 81 people here. Now I'm down to 58 people, but all of you can't see that, right, on a webinar. So it all depends on your purpose. All right, let's go to some of the chats. Jason is saying thank you. Appreciate you. Always look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Excellent. So the chat, chat only, since it is too distraction for you. Okay, so chat only, yeah, right now you're on panelist only, so only I can see it. But as an individual, because I let you, because I have that, I turn that on in a control, like Jason put all panelists and attendees, so all of you saw his chat. You can do that, all right? So it's give and take. If you want to see them, you can do that. You can turn it on. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, wait until tomorrow. We've got some great stuff for you tomorrow. All right, yes, they're all recorded. 1 hour for every 2 minutes, yes. All right, is there an extra cost on Zoom for doing a webinar? Yes, there is. It's about $40 more. I pay $50 a month for the Zoom meeting and the upgrade to webinar. And it's still, up to 100 people. So yes, there's an additional, but I'm telling you, it is worth every single penny. All right, and of course, if you're in a business, a company, there's different payment plans for multiple users. I've of course got the single user version. Good question, Carol. All right, but don't you have to sign up for webinar in Zoom and get a split screen on PowerPoint? Yes, you have. I'm not sure I understand the question exactly. If you're talking about where I'm here and everybody isn't, then yes, it is the webinar version. And yes, you have to sign up for that. It's not the version you've got that I went on your networking event with. Yeah, that's the meetings. There's Zoom meetings and Zoom webinars, just like there's a go-to and a go-to webinar, and they act very similar. It's just go-to webinar is a little more expensive and a little more complex to use, but I used to use that one as well. All right, great. All right, did I answer all the questions? I hope 3 new messages. Let me see. All right, Deb, thank you. Thank you. All right, what is the background somebody mentioned? It was a person's name. It was Deborah, and she mentioned having a brick background. And again, if it fit, remember your background is going to speak volumes for who you are and your topic. Make sure your background matches. Make sure it's in alignment with the message that you're portraying. All right, and it should be something about success. Okay, someone asked about the best colors to wear. It's up to you. Thank you, Lisa. I wear my branding colors on purpose, but it depends. What do you feel good in? All right, let's just start there. What do you feel great in? You might feel great in turquoise, and maybe it's not your branding color. Or you might have a favorite dress or a favorite shirt. Then wear that. Be careful, though, like any camera, if you know anything about camera, stay away from white. I made that mistake, and it's too hot. They say, when you're doing an interview on film, don't wear white. They say the best colors are blues and colors like that. Stay away from blacks and dark colors. But, again, what is your message and what is your favorite colors? What do you look good in? What do you feel good in? Use those colors, and you'll be above the rest. All right, but do pay attention. Boy, I've seen some people that wear some pretty weird stuff. I look terrible in blue, Virginia, then don't wear blue. Maybe you look good in green or orange or something like that. Something that will vibrate energy is what I would suggest as well if you're not sure. Okay, notice my name doesn't come up in the chat. Is there something I need to do? Well, your name should come up in the chat because you are, you've got panelists and attendees on. So maybe you need to just scroll and find yourself because you should be able to, I can see whenever I chat, I can see my own chats. All right, let me go down to some more. Y'all great. Stay as long as you want. All right. Okay, so everybody's saying, Ardina, we can see you. All right. We see your name, Ivan. All right, so let's see what Ivan says. Also, if you're using a green or blue screen, stay away from that color of clothing. Oh, amen. Thank you, Ivan. Yes, if you're using a green screen, well, normally you will have a background. But if you don't, stay away from that color. If you've got some blanket back there that's black, don't wear black or you'll disappear. Not that I recommend black. I'm not saying that. But good point. Pay attention. And even that's when live speaking. I always wear red, and I spoke at an event that was held at Dave and Buster's once, and the room we were in had red velvet drapes. I just kind of blended in. So you always have to be careful and know what your background is. Good point. All right. If you normally wear black and white, Virginia, if it's black and white together, that's fine. If you have to choose between black or white for something like this, choose black. Because the white, there's a glare oftentimes, and I've seen it in myself. Or you can wear white with a jacket or a sweater and tone it down, and that would be fine. Now, Helen's a video expert, and Helen says, stay away from stripes. Absolutely, stay away from stripes. Patterns are okay as long as they don't upstage you. Stripes and polka dots and wild colors and patterns can upstage you. So be careful. I always said on stage, I very seldom would even wear a pattern on stage because people's eyes can get hypnotized after a while. So be careful. Good one. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Good. What about pink? Pink's a very good color. Now, there's a lot of people that will say pink is a good color to sell in. I've heard speakers that have taught that. Pink is good. Each color represents something, and there's different ideas of what they represent, but pink is a good color. Yellow is a good color. It stands for friendly, so that's a good color. Blues are typically good on television, but if you don't look good on them, forget that. Purple is usually a spiritual color and a women's color, but I know a guy who's branded his whole company with purple, and he looks great in it. So find what works for you. And again, this is whatever color you would wear off stage, in virtual stages, and on live stages. All right, but look your best, dress your best. All right, Deidre, see you tomorrow. All right, no big accessories, earrings, or jewelry. Right, now someone complimented on my jewelry. So that, something that might be something for someone to look at, because again, you're in this camera environment, but you may not want to have something that upstages you and is too big and too bold. And you see my earrings are small. They're not big dangly things that people are going to think are going to hit me in the face. So everything counts. Good job. All right, good job. Right now you only see me on the screen. That's right. So I'm going to, even if I stop the share, all right, so again, that's what we're going to cover tomorrow. But now I can stop the share. You will still only see me. All right, you just see me bigger. All right, so let me answer these questions. All right, that is my answer. Okay, perfect. Let me see if there's any other ones. How do you learn Zoom? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. As a matter of fact, I am going to have a Zoom mastery class after this class is over. I'm going to have a Facebook Live mastery and a Zoom mastery and a virtual event mastery class. So come back tomorrow. I'm going to share those with you and how you can participate in those classes. Everybody's asking me for Zoom training, both the technical side and just the presenting side. So today we talked more about the presenting and not the setup, but I'm telling you it's all in the setup. And Jean Reese on this call will tell you, she like pulled her hair out. You have to learn the setup before you set up a meeting, ladies and gentlemen, because if you have 10 minutes to try to learn it, it just isn't enough time. Do yourself a favor, learn it, just like you would learn speaking or any other skill. Now, the beauty of coming to a class like mine is I'm there for you. You can learn some of this on YouTube, no question, but it's quick snippets and there's nobody to ask, right? They say, ask me in the chat, but when you do, there's no answer. I know I've been frustrated by that myself, so I decided I'm going to do the teaching. All right, let's look over at the chat and see if there's anything. So, Sally, it's so good to see you here. All right, Sally was been in my mastermind for years. All right, so I got all those questions. All right, so we still have about 37 people still here. All right, so should people send you their email to get on your email list so they can get future invites to your presentations? Yes, Lisa, however, because you've signed up for this particular webinar and all of you are already on my list anyway, I have your contact information. So thank you so much for that. But, okay. All right, thank you. You're welcome. How far are you from the screen right now? I am about, I would say 2.5 feet. And that's just the size of my desk. So about, I would say maybe not quite 2.5 feet, but a little more than 2.5 feet. You can always push your monitor back or bring your monitor closer. Most of the people that are too close, it's because they're on their phone and they're like this, and so they're all face. Be careful of that. Unless you're 20 years old, you may want to push it back just a little bit, or they hold it down here, right? And then they all of a sudden have a double chin that they've never had before. So I have some more questions. All right, you got to go, Sandy. Okay, 3 feet away is good. 3 feet would be perfect. Yes, 3 feet would be perfect. Okay. All right, perfect. Okay, how far? Okay, right, got it. Okay, good. Yes, you only see my screen because I'm in a webinar mode. I'm in the webinar mode. All right, so everybody's good? Everybody got their questions? Thank you. You're welcome. See you here tomorrow. All right. Anybody that wants to stay for a few more minutes, I'll be here. We still have 33 people here. Now, I have some people that raised their hands. So let me go to the raised hands. And if any of you are camera ready, I can bring you in and you can ask me questions directly. And this is something you want to know about. All right. So let me go to the participants who've raised their hands. And let's bring some people in here and have a little fun. All right. Okay. So I'm going to go to Sally. So Sally, I am going to promote you to panelist, and that means we get to see you. So come on in, and you get to talk, all right? So you're going to be joining us in just a second as a panelist, which is, there's Sally. Hey, Sally. I hope you've got your video turned on. If not, you can go ahead and ask me any questions. Anybody else want to come in and join me? All you have to do is... of course, raise your hand and I will bring in. All right, Sally, all right, can you hear me? You've got to turn your audio on. You've got to turn your audio on so you can, you've got to turn your video on. I'm asking you to turn your video on, but I can't turn it on for you. All right, Sally, you can talk though.
Oh, okay, I don't want you to look at me.
Oh, Sally! How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. It's great to have this time off work.
Okay, yeah, I bet you deserve it, right?
I do.
Awesome. Well, good to hear your voice. I'm so thrilled that you are here. And
thank you.
Tomorrow, get dolled up and we'll call you in tomorrow.
I didn't know I had a camera.
I don't know. Maybe you don't have a camera.
Well, it said turn my video on, but I decided not to.
Okay, then you probably have a camera.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Okay, I am going to demote you then. to a participant. Change the role. Okay. Now let me call in somebody else with their hand up. Okay, so I have Ardina with her hand up. So I'm going to come and bring you in, promote you to panelist. So just make sure your video is on, Ardina. Okay, it takes a couple of minutes. Ardina, are you there? We can hear you.
I am. I'm here.
Turn your video on. Yay! Yay!
I actually put this in the chat. I think you just passed it. So for teaching purposes, if I'm teaching and I'm going to be using my screen because I'm teaching my photo art, am I able to also see my participant's screen if they are also on their computer doing what I'm doing?
Yes, if you're in the meetings mode and if you allow them to share, but it's one at a time.
Okay.
So you can share your screen and then they can share their screen.
Okay. And so
Right.
there, I'm able to see their screen.
Yes, and that'll work in a small group. 4 or 5 people. When you get hundreds, it's not going to work. You're going to
Right.
have to do something else.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to have to hold it up or do something or go into breakout rooms. And
Okay.
you could pop into each breakout room and then they could hold it up. But once you're in a breakout room, you can't share a screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say you do have 100 people. Are they able to just see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. And talk about virtual backgrounds or real backgrounds. You've got a great background, but what you might want to do is level up your computer a little bit, put it up on a box.
Yeah.
You can see that it's tilted.
Yeah. You know what I
Yeah,
actually did today? I maybe it needs to be a little bit higher, but I did that today during our meeting.
Good. A little bit more
A little bit
because
more.
yeah, it just strengthens the look. So yeah, and well that's true too. You don't have one of those, but otherwise we're seeing the pictures tilted and it's harder for us
Oh,
to see
I
it.
see.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's your art and that's your brand and that's what you're teaching others to do. So it's really important. That's better. That's perfect. Now
Better.
a little tiny bit higher so we see the top of your head. Just raise it. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Okay. I gotta
There
get
you
it.
go. Perfect. So now see, yours works when instead of being in the center, when I say find, your perfect position,
Right.
that's your perfect position to the side because you're displaying your art. So I just want to clarify that for everyone.
Okay.
You've got to find your own. I don't have that. Mine is just, books and stuff. So
Right.
I'm in the center of my bookcase. But for you, that is the perfect speaker position.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. All right. So we will look and see. I think I have one other person that has your hand up. If you want to come in and talk to me, put your hand up. All right. Change to roles. All right. I have one more hand up, and that is Susan. Oh, Kathleen. All right. Kathleen, let me bring you in. All right, Kathleen, you're a panelist. Hey, Kathleen. Hey, gorgeous, do you have a video? Yay!
Yay! Oh, now you get to fix your hair really quick when you do that.
Surprise!
Hey.
Hi, Kathleen. How are you?
So my question is this. Right now I'm just doing one-on-one coaching with people, but I want to move, and I will be moving into more teams. But right now my frustration is when can I look directly into the camera? And when can I look at my people? Because I feel like if I look at them the whole time, they don't get that connection with me. So, I'm just kind of asking advice. How do I manage that so it feels more personable, but I can also see what's going on with them?
Okay, good question. So, it's what you're comfortable with, but if you want a connection, it's best to look at the camera. So what I like to do is before the meeting starts is I'll look around at everybody here and I'll personally welcome them and look at their faces. But when I get into the teaching mode and the training mode or the coaching mode, I will look directly at the camera.
Okay.
Now, if I'm only coaching one-on-one, then I look at you. But if it's kind of a group coaching thing, which I do every Tuesday, as you've been in my class, then I try to always look at the camera to do that teaching. All right.
Yeah,
Because I'm
that's
looking at.
I know, and I kind of want to balance between the two because I want to see what their, you know, so much is visual that you respond to how someone is, and you know. So anyway,
Then
I just
find
wondered if you had any tips.
Yeah, that's what I do, you know, connect with everybody. Like I'm looking at you right now, but am I looking at you? Do you feel me looking at you? Or when I go like this, am I looking at you?
Yeah, you're looking at me now, so
Yeah.
but you can't see me. So
And unless you're doing something that I need to see, so when I do my speech coaching online, I have to see what you're doing. So
Yeah.
I won't look at the camera. I'm looking at the screen and coaching you. See, different. So
Yeah.
you would do different techniques for different outcomes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Now, and a lot of times, see, I'm going to give you my $1 million secret for men or women, especially women. If you don't have time to put the makeup on, all you have to do is go like this and put your glasses on because you can't really see whether or not you have makeup on or not.
Oh my gosh, I put makeup on too. I'm gonna have to. Wow, I'm gonna have to amp up the color because it doesn't look like I have anything. I need false eyelashes or something. Wow. In my bathroom with lots of light. Let me try something.
Okay, all right. Well,
Let's see. Does that look better? Is that better?
You look fantastic. Now that light is better on you. That light is much better. What did you do?
Yeah, see, I opened the screen that was behind my computer.
That is better. Do that.
Okay.
Do that.
Yeah.
Much better,
Yeah.
much softer, and we see the entire face. My
Yeah.
light is changing, so I'm starting to get some shadow on this side now than when I first started.
That's a good tip right there. I will do
All right,
that.
good. All right, Suzanne Burt has her hand up, so Kathleen, I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye. All right, let's go to Suzanne, who I've known for years. All right, Suzanne is known as the gray fox. Excuse me, the gray fox. All right, you're coming in with me, and then I'll go to Virginia. All right, you're coming in with me. Suzanne. Hey, honey, how are you doing? Okay, can you come in? Do you have a camera? You can unmute yourself.
Unmute.
There we go. Unmute, go ahead and unmute yourself. I was unmuting you as you unmuted you, and you muted again.
Okay, I'm unmuted.
Now
And let me see if I can.
you're in Arizona now, right?
What's that?
You're in Arizona.
Come on.
Right? Where are you living now?
In Arizona.
That's what I thought. Okay, great. All right, so Suzanne's taking a little too long, so I'm just going to switch over to Virginia. So if you get your camera working, just raise your hand again. Okay.
Okay. I will see you tomorrow.
All right, then I will see you tomorrow. Did you have a question that you wanted to ask me?
Yeah, my computer was not running at the earliest part of the conference this morning, and I'm wondering, is there some place that I can go to catch up with that before tomorrow?
Probably not, because I'm going to send out the recordings all at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but let me think about it. Let me see how much work it'll be, because it'll do. Maybe I can just send yours, and because I have a lot of work to do to prepare it all. Yeah. Okay. All right. So
All
let me
right.
see what I can do.
So I'll catch you first thing tomorrow morning.
Okay. First thing. Yeah. Come on a little early.
Good to see you.
Good
to see you.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Virginia with her hand up. If you want to talk to me and come on in, just let me know. Raise that hand next to your name, and you can come on in. If not, I'll see you all tomorrow. We'll be done shortly. There you are, Virginia. Okay, unmute yourself.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Virginia. How are you today?
Pretty good.
Good. Did you have a question?
Um, Not really.
You just wanted to come in and see me, huh?
So, actually I do. So in my office, I have a wall with my certificates. So how would that look as a background? I'm kind of curious if it would have any effect on the glass, the glare, or. Well, I
Yes.
see you have a bookcase and you have glass, so.
Yeah, but the bookcase is far enough away from me that the glare isn't hopefully a bother. Uh, Yeah, I mean, I think it would look good. It depends on what it is your topic is and what are you teaching. And if you're teaching something that needs credentials, I think it would be perfect.
Okay,
You know, you're teaching classes in universities and schools and, psychology or whatever, emotions, I don't know, something that, needs that kind of degrees. I think it would be a good choice.
because typically I just have the showcase in the background.
That's not bad either. It just, the lighting is bad because the lighting is behind you and not in front of you.
Yeah,
So if you turned your desk and everything so that the certificates were in the back, you would get that natural light to one side of you, which is better than what you have now.
okay, okay,
Yeah, if we can't see you, then we can't connect.
okay. So there's not enough lighting.
Yeah.
Let me do something real quick and see if you notice a difference.
Okay, everybody, look up, see if you know what is the difference, and put it in the chat box. Not much of a difference.
It's the window.
Yeah. You want to move, either get a light and stay where you are, or move and let the natural light be on your face.
Let me do
Okay,
that.
there we go. That might be even better. There we go. Look at, we're doing it real time, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Is that better?
That's better. Yay.
Yes, oh my God.
Everybody write in the chat box how much better that is. Virginia, that's better. Beautiful. And you know what's good too is we see some credentials to your right. We see one behind you. It's perfect.
Okay,
Okay?
great.
It's beautiful. Now, I don't know what's on your table behind you. You might want to lessen that up a little bit and maybe put a nice plant on it or something. Yeah, I can't tell what that is, but it looks like boxes of hankies or something. You might want to.
Oh, you see the box of the hankies?
Yes, yes.
Oh, you're seeing the other table. I didn't mean for you to see that.
Yeah, so, well, just, I would get rid of, well, there, you could do an angle like that, but you lose a little bit of your good light.
Okay.
So you might be better
I'll
off.
figure it out. Yeah, I see.
Just get rid of that stuff and put a nice plant on it, and you'll be golden.
Great.
Because we want to see that certificate as well as some of the other ones. So, yeah,
Great.
find a new home for the hankies. Yeah, you look good right there. I wouldn't change a thing.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone. All right, we have 1 minute. I want to leave end about 1:30. Is there anybody else that has their hand up that wants to talk with me? Just put your hand up. I'm going to say, Virginia, goodbye. I'm going to put you back.
Thank you.
Cindy, see you tomorrow. All right. Anybody else, any questions that I haven't answered? Oh, thank you. It's so nice doing some extra time for some questions. Can you get a small clip on ring light? Yes, you can get a small clip on ring light from Amazon. So much better. They have several sizes, and they're round. And some fit the phone inside of them, and some just a ring light. They're wonderful. They're fabulous. All right, I have other lighting here, other professional lighting that I use when it starts to get a little dark. Okay, hey Linda, so when you screen share, remember to click the little box at the bottom of the screen page that says share computer sound. I don't know anything about that one. This enables any sound coming from your computer to be in the Zoom room. So your videos, music, etc. will play better and people, I don't know about that sound. I don't have, when I do a share, yeah, I don't have that, especially on the webinar. That might be something that is in the meetings though, but thank you so much for that tip. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, all righty. Red is definitely your color. Thank you so much. Mwah. All right, so we are going to end for today. Thank you all for hanging out as long as you did. I've got more great stuff for you tomorrow. Again, more details on Zoom, on lives, and actually doing your own virtual events. So today we talked about becoming that powerful speaker. But what if you were going to put on a full day or even a 3-day virtual event? Don't you want to know how to do it? All right, come back tomorrow. See you at 10 o'clock. Bye, everyone.